routines, so envisioning existence without it is troublesome. In any case, for the majority of the colonial time frame, that is the very thing that Americans did. Protection showed up in the American scene at about the very time that the possibility of one country, the United States of America, was coming to fruition, and was presented by one of the nation's founding fathers. We should investigate the historical backdrop of protection in the U.S. What is the history of insurance in America? The principal insurance agency in the United States traces all the way back to colonial times. The Philadelphia Contribution Ship, helped to establish by Ben Franklin in 1752. All through U.S. history, new sorts of protection have advanced as new dangers, for example, cars, have arisen. In the late 19th 100 years, outrages and deceitful practices shook the youthful protection industry. Under the McCarran-Ferguson Act of 1945, insurance agencies become excluded from most government guidelines and are generally liable to state regulation. As of late, the web gigantically affects how protection is sold and the way that insurance agencies assess risk. Benjamin Franklin. America's first insurer. Property protection was unquestionably not an obscure idea in the 1800 years. The popular British insurance agency Lloyd's of London was brought into the world in 1688. In any case, it took until the mid-1700s for the American settlements to become prosperous and complex enough to take on the idea. It occurred in Philadelphia, then perhaps the biggest city in North America, with 15,000 occupants. The city was spooky by the anxiety toward fire. Similar as London during the 1600s, houses around then were made as a rule of wood. More terrible, they were fabricated near one another. This was initially finished security reasons. However, as the city developed, the designers constructed houses extremely near one another for similar explanation they do now, to oblige however much of their plot of land as could be expected. Albeit the majority of Philadelphia was worked with wide roads and block or stone designs, fires are as yet a worry. In 1752, Benjamin Franklin and a few other unmistakable residents established the Philadelphia Contribution Ship for the insurance of houses from loss by fire, copying a London firm. America's most memorable fire insurance agency was shaped as a joint insurance agency, and Franklin publicized it in the Pennsylvania Gazette, which possessed. Like present-day insurance agency, the organization sends examiners to assess properties whose proprietors apply for inclusion and reject property that doesn't satisfy its guidelines. Rates depend on a property risk appraisal.